you will become a magnet for money when you are in alignment. Because you won't need the limited programs and conditions, the strategies, the frameworks, the techniques of people that have said, well, this is the way that you're going to make money by being successful in this, by being consistent with this. But rather, you will multiply your inspiration, your influence, your income by virtue of being on your path, in your lane, true to you and your calling. And that is actually all that's really needed for you to be on the path of least resistance to the abundance that is yours by birthright. Because you came into this world with everything that you need to be rich and to be fulfilled by your calling that is the means to that richness, that abundance. And the more we take on external strategies, external ways of trying to get there by doing it by someone else's standard, living up to someone else's model of how it works, we actually reject our path. We deny our internal intelligence and inspiration, and we abandon our true self, which is the way for you to get to that reality where it already exists. And that's why there's really three components, three aspects to being in alignment. The first is all about identity. As I mentioned, the true self. There is an authentic you, which when you are in alignment with, everything comes naturally. Everything is effortless. And it is attracted to you by virtue of you being in the right frequency of your being. The second part is alignment, which is the kind of practice or the routine of cultivating that frequency, right? Elevating your self-concept, shifting your daily habits, adopting certain aligned expressions, habits, routines that maintain that frequency on a day-to-day basis. And the last part, the third component, is manifestation, which is not actually what this sort of new age spirituality talks about. It's the recognition that you're actually manifesting all the time. Every single moment you are manifesting your reality by virtue of your beliefs, of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your actions. So it's about making those conscious, and it's about aligning those with your true self. And you see, if you haven't noticed, this I am, identity, alignment, manifestation, is I am. Because before any of the conditions or programs or any aspects of who you think you are were adopted and picked up and bought into throughout this life, which all are limiting you from being your authentic true self. That is where all this starts. It is coming into the recognition of I am. It is that first principle of your beingness, which is where the inspiration is, the intuition is, the intelligence is. Everything that is for you, the abundance, the richness, the connection, the effortless manifestation by virtue of the guidance that comes from that alignment with your presence, which is I am. That is the root practice, the root alignment of this whole idea, this whole kind of model of cultivating that truth of yourself into expression, birthing it into the world, manifesting it into your reality. And it all emerges out of you becoming aware of your I am presence. And another way of saying this is that inner child, which is unbelievably creative, absolutely, infinitely inspired and full of energy, full of well-being, full of ideas, full of that energy to move you and compel you and lead you in the direction of the path of least resistance for you. You don't need anything other than this. But the problem is that we've practiced this sort of limited idea of who we are, which then needs to fit into certain molds, into certain expectations, live up to certain standards. And within that paradigm, there's struggle and there's effort and there's a lot of difficulty that's unnecessary for your path. So really, this is all about coming into alignment with who you are. And then from that internal knowing, recognizing that inner authority, reclaiming your inner child, you become aware of what is in alignment with that. And then it's about just adopting those daily habits, which then practices that frequency. Because you see, it's in the letting go of the things that are not in alignment with who you are and doing those things that are not really serving you, that actually it's all that which is the resistance to your abundance, to your fulfillment, to your creative expression, to you being okay with yourself as you are and not having to live up to anything that's not true for you. All of that resistance is keeping out your abundance. And whether you've created a business or whether you've started a YouTube channel or whether you've begun your coaching practice or whatever it is that you're doing, perhaps you're an artist or a creator or a designer or a photographer. Initially, there was this spark of inspiration, right? And in that, there was so much energy, so much creativity, so much passion, so much excitement. All of that inspiration, somewhere along the way, gets sort of lost in the maze, in the murkiness of trying to do it the way that others say that it works. We start to adopt things, take on things that actually just become burdens. And that puts up a resistance in our energetic field. It dampens our frequency, which then rejects and denies and repels the abundance that wants to come to us, the people that want to work with us, the fans, the followers, the clients that want to buy from us. And you see, that's the magnetism when all that is let go of, that is allowed to attract into your life all that is for you without needing to do things that you don't want to do, without having to compromise your vision, without having to compromise yourself, without having to sell your soul with a strategy or a prescription, but just by doing it your way. And you see, that's where the second part of alignment and the third part of manifestation starts to bleed into this elevation of your beliefs, your self-concept, because it is your limiting beliefs which are dampening your frequency. It is the unreconciled emotions, the unresolved beliefs about yourself, which you've been carrying throughout your life, which are manifesting in your relationships, in your bad habits, in your tendencies of outsourcing your power into these things that you're doing for your business, that you're doing for your creative expression, which is actually just dampening it, dulling it, and making it into something far less than what it wants to be authentically, naturally. And you see, it's in becoming aware of these limitations and breaking free from them and allowing your frequency naturally to elevate again, to ascend again, to be in alignment with your true self, that all of this becomes so effortless. It becomes a field of attraction, which then brings it into your reality without you needing to do a lot of work in order to make it happen, right? Imagine a reality where you get to be you and you get to embody the gifts that you have remembered. You get to own by reclaiming that inner child again, and just through the playfulness, the lightheartedness, the love and the passion of that being that you are, in your innermost self that you get to experience and live in alignment with the abundance that is yours as your birthright. That is more than possible for you. It is inevitable. It is your destiny. But all that's needed is the willingness to claim it, to choose for it, and to commit to it. And that's what this I am framework is all about. It's about incorporating what works, letting go of what doesn't work, remembering who you really are, and going all in, cultivating the belief, the trust, the conviction in the I am, which is at the heart of who you really are. And in that is endless inspiration, ever deepening passion, an unshakable resilience to follow through on the day-to-day work that's needed in order for you to make this your reality. And it doesn't need to take more than 3 hours a day. I mean, a little less than 10 months ago, I started here on YouTube. And first, it was a lot of work to make the videos, and I tried editing, and I tried all these different techniques that other people said I needed to do. But at some point, I realized that the way that I naturally was inspired to do it, which was just to feel good about myself, to pick up on the inspiration, that creative spark, the idea that wanted to be shared, and then just through my authentic expression, through my natural, true self, just press record, share my idea, end the recording, and share it. I didn't want to edit so much. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on a fancy thumbnail. I didn't want to have this whole system around my videos or anything like that. I just wanted to be me. And less than 10 months later, I've got over 17,500 subscribers and a thriving business where I get to work with the people that I want to work with. And I promise that it wouldn't have been possible if I had done it any other way than simply the way that I wanted to do it. And so this is why I've created my Creator Accelerator program, which is a 6-week container where you get to work with me one-on-one, where I can help guide you through this process on your own, whether you want to make YouTube videos or whether you're creating content for a social media platform to elevate your business, to multiply the access to your inspiration, your influence online, and your income as a result of just being you. Then if you want more information on this upcoming program that I'm about to launch, just comment creator down below and I'll send you some more information about this, because I'm really excited and inspired to work with a few people. There's not going to be many spots in this because I really want to go deep with people who are really committed and ready to step into this for themselves. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a while. Maybe you've been wanting to do it for a while. Maybe you've been feeling blocked or afraid or unsure of where to start or how to get going. And there's a lot of kind of pitfalls along the way that I can help you navigate. I can help you stay in alignment with who you really are, so that that path of least resistance, that point of attraction where your abundance, your connection, your inspiration can flow to you, flow into your life, flow into the lives of the people that you're meant to work with, that you're meant to reach, that you're meant to awaken and inspire through your work. And so again, if you want to have access to this program, the information that I'm going to share in the next couple of days, comment creator down below, and I would love to connect with you and see if this is the right fit for working together over the next 6 weeks to get you from where you are to a thriving creator business that is built upon who you truly are and your authentic voice, your authentic self, and your authentic path of least effort.